intimidated by you. Or Robert De Caro, or Richard for that matter. The society doesn't scare me, it doesn't intimidate me. Just like Harry, and just like every other pretender and cosplay character in the Sheffield Wrestling Federation. This is me. I'm very real. Just seems that SWF needs a little bit of a kick up the arse, and clearly that's what you're doing, and that's what I'm going to do. Please allow me to repeat myself. Do not think for a second I'm not taking this seriously, boy. And if you have any doubts with that, just like I said to Lawrence, just like I've said to Harry, and just like I'm about to say to you, if you doubt me, allow me to prove you wrong.
Let us set the tone here, friend. Mr. Kennedy. Allow me to make two very small points. Do you want to know who else has so brazenly approached me in such a manner? Harry Greenwood. Which is unsurprising, really. In terms of temperament, you two are very similar. Say one thing you don't like, and you go off the rails. Would that be accurate to say? I mean no disrespect with what I say, though I must ask that seeing as I refrain from doing so, I'll ask you to refrain from calling me boy. I think I've done enough to warrant a bit more respect from you, Mr. Kennedy. Now, I don't think I made myself very clear with the last video, and apologies if that's the case. I'm not doubting you as a person, I'm not doubting your skills. How's the best way to put it? A knife can still be a knife. But even knives dull and get rusty. And you've been out of the game for a very long time. But that's what makes this so much more interesting. You have this fire inside of you that I rarely see in many individuals. Mainly because they've been neutered upon entering SWF. Something that has clearly not afflicted both you and I. Congratulations, Mr. Kennedy. It intrigues me so. Because both of you are so fiery, so full of fight, so promising as individuals, that I cannot help but watch, and want to watch, and want to see how this develops. Let's face it, between you and I, what else is there beyond us that's really worth watching? There's my fatal four-way Demon's Den match, where I will be displaying my skills in such a brutal fashion. Then there's Robert De Caro, teaching Dylan Pickin a thing or two about humility. And then there's you, against Harry Greenwood, for the EMW Championship in a submissions-only match. A very good choice, I must say. You actually limit Mr. Harry Greenwood quite a lot. You should have the advantage. Though I suppose that's not what you're looking for, which I can respect. You want to prove that you're better than what everyone else thinks? Perfect. You know enough about me by now that I have the exact same mindset as you. Prove the doubters wrong. And whilst I may have doubts in my mind, it's not really me that you're referring to. That's just anger talking, isn't it? Because for the first time in your life, you've found someone, or some people, who do truly understand you, if even to a lesser extent, if you do not wish to admit it. Because our feelings, our thoughts, are far too similar to ignore. You want to prove me wrong? You want to prove my doubts wrong? I'll give you the opportunity to do so. Whilst everyone else is on their phones and mingling with each other during the match, myself and Decaro, we will take our chairs and we will place ourselves firmly at the front. And we will watch your match. We will scrutinize every point that we see. We will pay close attention to the both of you. And from there, even if no one else is watching, you know you can prove two of us wrong. Or at least attempt to. After all, we are very hard critics, and we do have very high standards. But I suppose that should be no problem for someone such as yourself. You're an interesting man, Mr. Kennedy. One that I look forward to keeping my eye on. And I don't say that lightly. Which you should already know by now.